Hi everyone, Denaya Daily here, and today we are going to do a yoga practice that is centered around building a strong core. Now our core is not just the front of our abdominals right here, but it's also our back. So our core really encompasses this entire space. It helps to support our spine. We will be strengthening, like I said, the front of our core, the back of our core, the sides of our core. We will get in all directions, and this will help us create a strong and supported spinal column so that we can move with ease and purpose and grooviness in the world. For this yoga practice, you will need a yoga block or something equivalent. And I think that's all. All right, let's get started. All right, for this practice, we're going to start lying down on our backs, knees bent, feet on the floor. Just take a moment to settle in, to become present in this moment. Take a nice deep inhale in through your nose, and a full exhale out. Again, breathing in fully, and exhaling. Take this opportunity to lose curiosity about all the things that happened earlier in your day, lose curiosity about all the things that are going to happen later in your day. Let yourself tune in to physical sensations of your body. What are you feeling right now? How does your body feel? What does each breath feel like? With each inhale, feel your spine, the back of your neck growing a little bit longer. Slight downward nod with your chin. And on each exhale, let your face relax a little bit more, releasing the forehead, the eyebrows, softening the eyelids. Feel the weight of your cheeks as they melt towards the earth. Jaw fully slack. And then let your shoulder blades fall down and back towards your heels, away from your ears. Let your shining heart open. Feel your ribs as they expand side to side with each inhale. And then as they melt back into the earth with each exhale, belly also rising and falling with the ebb and flow of our breath. Feel a softness in your hip crease so that there's no tension in the hip socket. Energy in your knees falls forward towards the sky, and energy in your feet roots down into the floor below. Take another breath or two just to settle in here. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our hands and we're going to place them low down on our pelvis. We're just going to feel our lower abdominal muscles as we breathe. Now, if your hands are on your pelvis, you'll notice that they're making maybe a little diamond shape like this. And this diamond can also be like an arrow pointing my fingers, the way that arrow is pointing. So I'm going to place this arrow, this sort of finger diamond, down on my pelvis, and I'm going to now start to rock my arrow. So I'm going to basically rock my pelvis back so that my arrow points upwards, and then I will rock my pelvis down so that my arrow points downwards. So you can see in my spine, as I rock my pelvis, my tailbone comes up in one direction, and then I rock it and I find a little arch in my lower back in the other direction. And we're just going to continue rocking our pelvis forward and back. Now as we do this, we can start to think about our pelvis as a clock. So if there's a clock on my pelvis, then rocking it towards myself would be rocking towards the 12 o'clock, and then rocking away from myself would be rocking towards the 6 o'clock. Rocking towards 12, and rocking towards 6. We're going to continue doing this, but we're going to start to really think about the musculature of our abdominals as we continue to rock between 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So as I come into 12 o'clock, I'm really thinking about this muscle called the rectus abdominis. Now continue doing your rocking as I come and show you a little bit more about your abdominals. Your rectus abdominis is a muscle that connects basically the bottom of your sternum to your pubic bone. It goes all the way up and down this way. This is our six-pack abs. Yum, so strong. And when muscles work, they bring their two ends closer together. So as we rock our pelvis, our pubic bone towards the 12 o'clock, I'm using this entire rectus abdominis to bring me into this crunch position. So see if when you come into the 12 o'clock tilt, if you can really feel the rectus abdominis working, activating, contracting. Yes. And then as you come into your 6 o'clock tilt, the one with a little arch in your lower back, what we're doing is we're activating the lower muscles in our back. Nice, all of these ones. There's a muscle called your erector spinae that goes all the way from the base of your tail, up your spine, to the base of your skull. There's another one underneath it called your multifidus. Goes the same direction, tail going all the way up your spine to your head. And then there's two on the sides that we're going to be talking about today called your quadratus lumborum. And they basically connect the bottom of your ribs to the top of your pelvis on the back side. So all of these muscles, when contracting, will bring you into an arched back. It'll shorten the distance of your spinal column from itself. So as we come into the front curve, we work into the rectus abdominis. As we come into the back curve, we start to work into the multifidus, erector spinae, quadratus lumborum, all of those back core muscles. So really, as you come into that 12 o'clock tilt, there we go. See if you can pay so much attention to the lower fibers of the rectus abdominis as it activates. And then as you come into the 6 o'clock tilt, see if you can really feel out those back muscles there, activating and contracting. Now that we have these muscles all nicely warmed up, we're going to start moving into a little twist. We're going to place our hands underneath our hips, just a little bit, not too much. And then I'm going to try to press my right hip into my right hand. And then I'm going to do the opposite, press my left hip into my left hand. Now when I'm doing this, I'm also trying to keep my knees to the sky. So I'm not doing any wiggle woggle with my knees. They're staying directly skyward. And I'm just pressing my hips. So I get a little rotation through my abdominals. Now I'm going to do this, you stay lying down, keep trying it out, but I'm going to sit up a little bit so maybe you can see a little bit better. As I'm pushing my right hip, just the hip goes back and I get a little wrapping, a little transverse action through my torso. And then as I push the other hip, again, I get a little bit of a wrapping here. The muscles I'm using here are our obliques. So our oblique muscles, we have two of them, internal and external, but basically they sort of make an X around your sides. So they will twist us, these muscles let us twist, which is kind of what we're doing now by moving one hip down and then the other. They also help us to side fold. So as you're coming into this, let's call it our 3 o'clock and our 9 o'clock pelvic tilts, we're really thinking about engaging through those oblique muscles. See if you can really feel the muscular action as we come into this 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock pelvic tilts. And let me do it with you again. So again, remember the knees are facing skyward, they never move. And this movement might be really subtle, and that's okay. but I'm pushing one hip into my hand and then the other, trying to activate the obliques. Nice. And then we're going to put it all together. So let's all come into our 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. Tailbone comes off the floor. And then let's move into our 3 o'clock pelvic tilt. One hip into the ground, knees still facing the sky. Into our 6 o'clock pelvic tilt. Little arch through the lower back. And our 9 o'clock pelvic tilt. Other hip pressing into the floor. So on your own breath, let's move slowly and consciously through this entire clock rotation of the pelvis. And as you move through each space, really see if you can connect to and feel into the muscular structure that is supporting that rotation of the pelvis. So we're really tuning in. We're very conscious and aware in this movement. Let's do one more in this direction. And then let's go the other way. So we're just switching directions. If you were going to the right, now go to the left. If you were going to the left, now go to the right. So now we're going from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. To 3 o'clock. Again, super conscious, super aware. Really seeing if you can connect to the musculature underneath this movement. Knees stay skyward as much as possible. And let's do one more in this direction. Let's find our way to neutral now. So again, make this little arrow with your fingers, place it down on your pelvis, and now we want this to be in neutral, meaning that it's neither pointing up, nor down, nor sideways, either direction, but straight and flat, just like, you know, anything that were flat. Let it be really flat. So you might notice that there's a little arch in your back in this neutral pelvis where your arrow is pointing flat, and that is perfectly okay. Wherever you are with this super flat arrow, we're going to keep that. And we're also going to think about pressing the bottom of our rib cage into the floor. All right, so this is where we get kind of subtle in our body. Keep this flatness. There might be a little bit of an arch in your lower back. Press the bottom ribs into the floor. And you'll start to feel your entire abdomen tighten up and become active. This is our transversus abdominis. This abdominal muscle transverses the entirety of our abdomen, thus being called transversus abdominis. And this will help to stabilize our spine. This is one of the muscles that connects to our spine and helps us stay strong in the spinal column. So again, flat. Allow for whatever is happening for you here. Ground through the rib cage. Keep this. Do not move anything. Keep breathing. And bring your feet and legs into tabletop. Now by tabletop, I want your knees directly over your hips, not further in, yeah? Directly up and down. Keep the flatness of your pelvis. Keep the bottom of the rib cage grounded. You'll probably find less of an arch in your lower back here. Keep this strong. Notice your knee is at pretty much a right angle here. I'm going to keep the right angle in my knee. I'm going to place my hands on my hips just to help them stabilize. And I'm going to move from my hip socket, touching one toe down to the floor, coming back up, and then touching the other toe down to the floor, coming back up. And we're just going to switch one toe up and the other toe and up. All the while really consciously keeping the neutral pelvis, keeping the lower ribs pressing into the floor. So I'm never losing my rib cage like this. Yeah, it's always grounded. The other thing is I'm not just bending my knees to touch the ground. I'm really moving from the hip socket so that my core has to work. It has to actually do something. Keep breathing while you do this. Keep those ribs on the floor. I always find this to be a little bit harder than I expected it to be. Starting to build some heat in my body at least. Nice. And let's do 2 more, balancing out our right to left. Nice. And come back to center. On the exhale, hug those knees into your chest. Give them a little yum, maybe a little ankle roll as well. Let it feel good. And then let's place our feet on the floor. Close enough so you can just barely touch your toes to your fingertips. They just barely sweep each other. Now we're going to take our toes and turn them just a little bit inwards. And then again, for this, it's not a full duck foot. It's just a little bit, just a little. And that will help keep our knees in line with our hips and not have them splay out when we come into our next movement, which is a shoulder bridge. All right, as you're here, take an inhale. Place your hands underneath your lower back. And then on the exhale, drive your heels into the floor. So I'm not actually moving, but I'm pushing my heels down into the floor. And with my hands under my lower back, I might feel my lower back muscles start to activate and turn on. So give yourself a feel. Take an inhale, release the heels. Feel into the lower back. On the exhale, drive your heels down. See if you can feel those lower back muscles starting to work. So one more time, take an inhale, release. And on the exhale, heels drive into the floor. Nice, remove your hands, keep the heels driving into the floor. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to come into that 12 o'clock pelvic tilt, tailbone lifts, and then 1 vertebra at a time will rise up into a bridge. Nice. Take an inhale here at the top and exhale lower. 1 vertebra at a time back to the floor. Tailbone's the last thing to touch. Take an inhale. Drive the heels. On the exhale again, come through the 12 o'clock tilt. This time our arms come with us. 1 vertebra at a time, coming up into your bridge. And exhale, lowering down, arms mirroring the body. Coming through the 12 o'clock tilt before your tail finally hits the floor. Again, inhaling, heels drive. Exhale, 12 o'clock tilt, rolling 1 vertebra at a time up into your bridge. When you're at the top, grab your awesome yoga block, place it between your thighs, and then hug into that yoga block. Exhale, roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Very nice. Let's do that again. Take an inhale, drive the heels. Exhale through the 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. 1 vertebra at a time brings you up. Take an inhale, hug the block, and exhale, lowering down. Very nice. On this next one, we're going to hold at the top. So take an inhale, drive the heels. Exhale through the 12 o'clock tilt, rolling up into the bridge. Stay here. Press the heels firmly. And then we're going to try to straighten our legs. So breathe in, pretend you're straightening those legs. Try to push yourself up. You'll stick to your mat, so you won't actually be moving this way, but it'll feel like you're being pushed this way. And as you're doing so, you'll start to feel your quadriceps engage. Now we're going to do the complete opposite. Instead of pushing our feet away from us, we're going to try to pull them into us. So try to pull your feet in closer towards you, trying to bend your knees more. And you'll start to feel this in the back of your thighs and your hamstrings. Keep breathing here, pulling those feet in towards you. And then take an inhale, ground through the feet, lift the hips, and exhale, lowering 1 vertebra at a time, letting your arms stay overhead. Take an inhale, plant the heels. Exhale through the pelvic, 12 o'clock pelvic tilt, rolling up into your bridge again. Nice and high, hug the block. Inhale again, try to straighten those knees. Feel the quadriceps engage. Push the feet away from you. And exhale, come into the opposite. Pull the feet in towards you, trying to bend your knees. Feel the back of the thighs, the hamstrings engaged. Press the feet firmly into the floor. Lift the hips straight up into the air, inhaling. And exhale, everything, including your arms, slowly lowers to the floor. Beautiful. Remove the block. Bring those knees into your chest. Give them a little sway. A little yama yama. Beautiful. Very nice. And with the knees into your chest, we are going to lift one leg straight up into the air. Let's lift the right leg straight up into the air. And we're going to bring the left leg out on a diagonal. Nice. Now, the lower this leg is, the more difficulty you're going to be coming up against. So find the challenge that's right for you. If this leg is lower, it's going to be more difficult. If it's higher, it's going to be less difficult. Listen to your body, find your personal challenge. All right. From here, I am going to take my shoulders, inhaling, I'm going to connect my ribs, and exhaling, lift my shoulders off the ground. So again, I'm moving into this rectus abdominis space, contracting there, finding the strong supported lift. Holding on to my top leg, I'm going to lower my leg here, take an inhale. On the exhale, I'm going to switch legs. Inhale here, exhale, switch. Keep going. Let me hear your breath. Actually making that strong exhale sound, that sound, will help to engage the transversus abdominis, which is that muscle we talked about that transverses your entire abdomen. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more. And bring both knees into your chest. Keep your transversus abdominis engaged. Keep the shoulders lifted. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to straighten everything out into a V shape. Inhaling, and then arms will circle around, bringing the knees back in on the exhale. Inhaling into the V. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale into the V. And exhale, bring it in. Let's do 5 more. Here's 3. Inhaling 4. Feel your belly button drive to the floor. And 5. Beautiful. Take your hands, clasp them, place them behind your head. Maybe your neck's getting a little tired at this point. And bring your feet straight up into the air. Beautiful. Now notice that your rib cage is strongly on the floor here. Keep the rib cage grounded. Feel the transversus abdominis working. And we're going to just lower our legs as much as we can while keeping our ribs on the floor. Don't let them come up. All right. Keep the ribs down. Lower the legs. Inhaling as we lower. And exhaling as we lift up. Let's do 4 more of these. Inhaling to lower. And exhaling. Don't let the ribs come up. Keep them down. Inhaling, lowering. And exhale, rising. And inhale, lower. Last one. And exhale, rise. Very nice. And again, knees come into the chest. Give them some love. And we're going to stretch this out by coming into some more shoulder bridges, getting this core a little bit fatigued. Again, fingertips just barely sweep our heels. For these bridges, we're actually going to have our feet touching, so they're right up against one another. Beautiful. Take an inhale, drive the heels into the floor. Feel your lower back, your multifidus, erector spinae. Feel it engaging. On the exhale, come through that 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. And with your thighs together, roll up into this bridge. Stay here. Nice. With your feet touching, press firmly into your right foot. And then we're going to bring the left leg straight up into the air. Oh my gosh. Now, if this is so much for you, you can take your block and place it under your hips to help hold you here. If you want to find the powerhouse in you, then no block, all right? Wherever you are, make sure your hips are even so that one hip is not falling down, but they're nice and straight across. Either stay right here, or if you choose, we can lower and lift this leg. I'm going to lower and lift. Let's go. Lowering for 1, inhaling and exhaling out. Lowering 2, we're going to do 5. Exhale, lifting. Here's 3, 4, and last one, 5. Place the foot on the floor, touching the feet together, lift the hips even stronger. Make sure your hips are even, right to left. And then we're going to take the other leg into the air, straight up and down. Again, if you'd like to put your block under your tailbone, that is perfectly great to do. You can either stay here, just with the leg lifted, which is a pretty awesome workout, or if you'd like to lower and lift the leg, join along with me. Here we go, lowering, inhaling. Here is 2. And it's 3. Check those hips, nice and even. Here is 4. And last one, it's 5. Place the foot down on the ground. Both hips rise up, breathing in and lowering 1 vertebra at a time. Tail is the last thing to touch. Very nice. Bring those knees into your chest. Give them some love. And this time we're going to come into happy baby, opening up our hips. Let me show you this from the back so you can see a little bit better. I'm just opening my legs nice and wide. Now, if you can reach, hold on to the outside edges of your feet. If your feet are too far away, you can hold on to your inner thighs or maybe your calves, any place that feels good. Maybe it's your toes, feet. And while you're in this position, it might feel good just to be still. It also might feel really good to take a rock side to side. And again, this is our happy baby position. You can imagine you're a baby who's super happy, lying on their back, giggling, all the goodness is happening. Now, for some of us also, it might feel really good to do this with legs bent. I'd also like to offer up a variation with straight legs. Sometimes after doing a lot of bridges, I really like to do happy baby with straight legs. For me, it just feels so great. So again, listen to your body and take the variation that feels best for you. And when we are ready, let's bend those knees back into our chest. Let me come back onto my mat. And we're going to take a little rock forward and back and forward and back, rolling into our spine. All the way up to sitting. Find a tall seated position. And let's start with our right leg on top of our left. From here, take a nice deep breath in, reaching up. And exhale, hands press to our heart. Again, inhaling, gathering the breath. And exhale. Once more, tall as we can, all together. And exhale. Right arm reaches up, inhale. Exhale into a side fold. Reaching even further, inhaling. And let's take one huge circle as we breathe. Coming back into that side fold, ground for your supporting arm. Let it press you up to sweep the sky. And exhale back into the side fold. Let's take that sweep again, press into the supporting arm. Let it open you up, sweeping away the clouds. And exhale back into the side fold. Let it roll forward through center and up to sitting. Other arm then reaches up, inhale. And into the side fold, exhale. Reaching further, inhaling, and one huge, huge circle as you breathe. Coming into that side fold again, ground into your supporting arm. Let it open you up, sweeping away the clouds. And exhale, side fold. Again, inhale, press the hand, opening up. And exhale, let it round forward through center and up to sitting. Both arms reach up, inhale. Lengthen into the forward fold on the exhale. Use the floor to help traction your spine, make it longer. Shoot your tail back behind you on the inhale. Exhale to deepen. One more breath here. As you are ready, anchor your tail, roll up to sitting, one vertebra at a time. And once you are seated, switch which leg is on top. There. Both arms and again reach up, inhale. And lengthen into the forward fold, exhale. Again, each inhale lengthens your spine. You can use the floor to help you, shooting that tail back behind you. And then exhale to deepen. One more deeper breath cycle here. And as you are ready, anchor through your tail, lift through your lower belly, roll one vertebra at a time up to sitting. Beautiful. And let's roll the shoulders back. And full arms reach all the way out and around, finding that back space so fully. And then right arm rises up, breathing in. Exhale, let the fingers fall down your spine. Left arm reaches up, inhaling. And on the exhale, open up through that right side body. Plant the sit bones, lift through the spine, breathing in. And exhaling to deepen. On the inhale, both arms come center. On the exhale, other arm falls down your spine. Inhale, right hand holds that elbow. And exhale into the side fold. Again, inhale, ground through the sit bones, grow taller. And exhale to deepen. Coming back to center, inhaling. And exhaling, hands pressed to the side. Right hand to the right thigh. Inhale, lift your heart, and exhale, spiraling to the left. Inhale, grow taller. And exhale a little bit deeper. On the next inhale, find your way center, switch hands, left hand to the left thigh. Inhale, grow taller. And exhale, spiraling over to the right. Inhale, lengthening. And exhale, deepening. On the next inhale, come center again. And let's bring both knees into the chest. And then all the way over to the right side of our mat. Left hand on the floor. And I like to call this a mermaid sit. I'm imagining I'm a mermaid on a rock. And my fin is out behind me. I'm going to place this hand just a little bit outside my shoulder so that when I push up onto it, my shoulder and wrist are going to be directly in line. So, on the inhale, I'm going to lift up onto my legs using the underside of my body to activate. Arm reaches up to the sky. On the exhale, I'm going to reach underneath me, twisting through my spine. On the inhale, press into the supporting arm, lift up even taller. And exhale, sitting down. Let's do that again. Inhale, reaching up, feel the underside of your body alive. Exhale, rotating underneath yourself. Inhale, extending, lifting, opening, and exhale, lowering down. 3 more times. Inhaling. Exhale to rotate. Inhale to extend. And exhale to sit. Twice more. Inhale to rise. Exhale to rotate. Inhale, opening. And exhale to sit. Inhaling up. Exhale, rotating. Inhale to lift and rise. Exhale to lower. Last one. Inhale, feel the length. Feel your foundational support from that supporting arm. Exhaling as you rotate. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower. Keep this mermaid sit. Reach taller with that left arm. Inhaling. And exhale, lean over towards your legs. Inhale, reach further. And exhale, cartwheel your arms all the way to the floor, coming onto hands and knees. Nice. Inhale, lift your belly up into cat. And exhale, opening up into cow. Again, inhale to cat. And exhale to cow. Tuck those toes under you if they're not already tucked. And this time as we come back into cow, we're going to press back, lift our knees a little. And we're going to inhale forward into a cat with knees lifted. Then exhale back into a cow. Knees still lifted. Inhale, rolling forward into cat, knees lifted. Exhale into cow. Feel your chest come alive. Inhale, arching upwards and forwards. Exhale, arching downwards and backwards. Let's do this 3 more times. Inhaling and exhaling. Twice more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale. And this exhale knees all the way to the floor. Point the feet. Come all the way into child's pose. Roll out those fingers and wrists as needed. Beautiful. On your next inhale, come all the way forward onto your stomach. Hands clasped behind your back. From here, take a 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. So I'm pushing my pubic bone into the floor, and my lower belly is coming off the ground a little bit. So again, this is a 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. With my hands clasped, I'm coming into a 12 o'clock tilt. I feel my lower abdominals engage. My legs are straight and strong. On the next inhale, I'm going to lift from my sternum. Inhale, lifting up. Now notice I'm not jutting my chin out. I'm actually thinking chin to chest. I'm still trying to be in a 12 o'clock tilt. I'm not actually there, but my musculature is working towards a 12 o'clock tilt in my pelvis so that my lower abdominals are still engaged. Take a breath here. And exhale. Rest your head to the right. We're going to do this again, this time involving our legs. All right, chin comes forward. Try to come into that 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. Engage lower abdominals. Legs are straight and strong. On the exhale, chest and legs rise into the air. And exhale. Nice. See if you can bring your legs to touch. If not, it's perfectly okay if they're a little bit apart. Keep the lower abdominals working. Keep them lifting. Keep breathing. Chin to chest. Hold 3. Hold 2. Hold 1. And release. Rest your other cheek, your left cheek, on the ground. We're going to do this one more time, and this time you have your choice of arms. You can keep your arms clasped behind your back. You can bring them underneath your shoulders so that they lift up with you. You can bring them out to the side like airplane wings, or for the most challenge, you can bring them up overhead, lifting them up by your ears. I'm going to try overhead by my ears. We'll see how it goes. All right, chin comes center. Come into that 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. Feel your lower belly engage. Legs are straight and strong, touching if they can. Take an inhale here. On the exhale, we will rise. And exhale. Nice, again, chin to chest. Feel the lift from your sternum, lift from your heart. Keep the lower belly active. Breathing, 4 more counts. Breathing 3. Breathing 2. Arms up by the ears if they're overhead. And release. Press back, child's pose. Just enjoy yourself for a few moments here. Feel the breath come into the space between your kidneys, that lower back space. Let out a sigh on your exhale. And as you are ready, slowly roll on up to sitting. And let's do the other side of this sequence. Coming into a mermaid sit. This time with our right hand on the floor. So the legs are like a lovely mermaid tail out to our left. And we know that when we rise up, this shoulder is going to be directly over this wrist. Nice vertical line. Are we ready? You can do it. Here we go. On the inhale, we press our hips into the air. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, find the twist, reaching underneath you. Inhale, extending, and exhaling to sit. Here we go again, reaching up, inhale, and exhale to revolve. Inhale, opening, and exhale, sitting. 4 more. Inhale, and exhale. Inhaling, opening, exhale, sitting. Inhale to rise. Imagine you're sweeping through the water. Exhale, revolve. Inhale, opening up, bubbles flying to the sky, and exhale to sit. 2 more. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Last one. Keep it strong. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Coming to sit, hold on to that leg, lift up with the right arm, inhaling, exhale into the side fold. Very nice. Breathe into all those muscles that we've just activated. Let it feel lovely. Nice. And reach out even further. And cartwheel your arms all the way around, coming onto hands and knees. And again, inhale into cat. And exhale into cow. And inhaling cat. And exhaling cow. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees slightly off the ground. Inhaling forward to cat. And exhaling back to cat. Inhaling forward to cat. And exhaling back to cow. Now, if you'd like to add an extra challenge, place your feet and hands further apart from one another so that we're actually inhaling into a plank cat. And then coming all the way back into this sort of puppy pose. Inhaling into plank. Exhaling, rolling back to cow. So we get this roll through the spine, through cat, and through cow. Take 3 more wherever you are with the knees and hands close or far apart. Take 2 more. And last one. Beautiful. Knees all the way to the ground. Press back into child's pose. This time, let's clasp our hands behind our back. Let them reach all the way up to the sky. Take a breath here. Nice. And as you are ready, slowly release your hands down towards your tail before unclasping. And again, come all the way forward onto your stomach. And this time, let's clasp our hands behind our backs. Find that 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. Feel the lower abs engage. Take an inhale. And just the upper body rises. Exhaling. Keep the legs strong and straight. Keep the lower belly engaged as you try to come into that 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. Breathe here, chin to chest. Feel the length through the back of your neck. And exhale, release. Rest your right cheek on the ground. Are you ready for the next one? This one we involve our legs. Bring your head back to center. Legs straighten out, come together. 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. Feel the lower abs engage. Take an inhale. And exhale, everything rises. Feel a lift through the sternum, through the heart space. So again, we're not cranking with our chin. We're lifting through the chest instead. Keep breathing, lift the lower belly. 2 more breaths. And release. Resting the other cheek on the ground, left cheek on the ground. Very nice. You're doing a beautiful job. This time we're going to bend both knees, hold onto the outsides of our ankles as we prepare for bow pose, Dhanurasana. Bring your chin to center, and again, just like before, find that 12 o'clock pelvic tilt as much as you can so that the lower abdominals engage. Take an inhale here, and on the exhale, we'll press our feet into our hands, lifting everything up. And exhale. Nice. Keep the lower belly engaged. Feel the chest lifting. Again, the back of your neck is long, chin to chest, no jutting chins. Keep the front of the throat soft. Breathe here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Very nice. Press back into child's pose. Oh, so good. Feel your breath come into the space between the kidneys, that lower back space. And just breathe here. You're doing a really amazing job. As you are ready, into your tail, lift through your lower belly, roll one vertebra at a time up to sitting. Very nice. From here, we're going to come back into our mermaid seat, but a little bit of a variation of it from last time. This time our legs are going to be a little straighter. So I'm not a tight little mermaid, I'm now an adult mermaid. And again, this arm straight up and down, shoulder right over the wrist. For this version, we're going to be coming up into a full plank. So make sure that you are distanced correctly. Now, if your feet are stacked, that will be the most difficult of these versions. You can definitely place your foot, your top foot in front of you instead. That will give you a broader base of support, making it a little bit, harder to fall over, making the movement a little less intense. All right, are we ready? We're going to do 5 of these mermaids from this full side plank position, full Vasisthasana. Take a breath. Here we go. Pressing up into the side plank. And then find that wrap. Open it up. and sit it down. That was 1. Here we go. 2. Breathing in. Exhale into the right. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, lower it down. 3 more. Here we go. Number 3. Exhale, wrap. Now notice my bottom ankle is off the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So everything is strong. Inhaling. This is 4. No sinking in that bottom ankle. Lift it up. Exhale, wrapping. Inhale, opening. And exhale, lowering. Last one, strongest one. Bring it up. Exhale to twist. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, lowering. Oh, tighten up that mermaid seat. Reach over in the opposite direction. Oh, so good. Now I'm taking my bottom arm and I'm bringing it across my thigh, so I get a little opening through the chest as well. That might feel good for you. Always listen to your body, tune in, take a modification that feels right for you. Wherever you are, breathe. And let's reach out even further. Cartwheel hands all the way to the ground. Come on to hands and knees. Take a cat, inhaling. And a cow, exhaling. Tuck the toes under, cat with the knees off the ground. And cow. Step the feet back maybe. Cat all the way forward to plank. And cow, bring it back. Let's do 2 more wherever you are. Here's our cat. And here's our cow. If you are in full plank, take your cat, keep the legs strong to plank, and then open the chest. Notice my legs are still strong and tight. I'm in a floating upward dog, my toes tucked under. Beautiful. And bend the knees all the way to the ground, lowering down onto the belly. Right knee bends. Hold on to the right foot with the left hand, so opposite hand to foot. And then my right arm reaches out in front of me. Take an inhale here. Come into that 12 o'clock pelvic tilt, lower abdominals engaged. On the exhale, everything rises. And exhale. Nice. Feel both legs strong, both arms strong. Feel this cross-lateral connection from the right hand across to the left leg and vice versa. Lift through the sternum. Breathe 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale. Release. So good. Let your ankles just sway right to left. Very nice. Coming back center with your head. Bend both knees this time. And hold on to both feet. Nice. Now, if you'd like to go a little bit deeper than holding both feet on the outside, then flip your hands, hold on to the inside of both feet. Both are great variations. Take a nice breath here. Find that 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. And on the exhale, press those feet into your hands. Opening up through the chest, through the front of your hips, but keep the lower belly engaged. Breathing for 4, lift through the heart. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Press back. Child's pose. Reach those arms far out overhead. One more breath. And let's anchor the tail, lift through the lower belly, roll 1 vertebra at a time up to sitting. Take a moment. Wiggle out that spine. And let's prepare for the second side. Coming into our mermaid sit. Again, this isn't our baby mermaid, this is our long adult mermaid. And again, you can have feet stacked on top of one another or one in front of the other. And if this is too much, guess what? Do the baby version again. Again, I cannot stress how important it is to listen to your body and make any modifications or variations based on your needs. This is your practice, all right? Wherever you are, do make sure that this wrist and shoulder will line up directly on top and below each other. Take a breath in, get ready. And on the inhale, we rise up. Inhaling up for 1. Exhale, find the twist. Inhale, extend. And exhale, lower. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, extending. And exhale, lowering. We're doing 5. This is number 3. Exhale to twist. Inhale, extending. And exhale, lowering. Here's number 4. Keep the ankles lifted. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, extending. Woo. Exhale, lowering. Last one. Inhale to rise. Press into your supporting limbs. Exhale to wrap. Inhale, extending. And exhale, down. Ooh. Hug those legs in. Take an inhale. Exhale into that side fold. And again, if you'd like to take your bottom arm, hold onto the opposite thigh. Helps to open you up a little bit. So I'm not just getting a side stretch, I'm getting this sort of diagonal line as I open my heart towards the sky. Keep breathing here. You're doing a beautiful job. Feel good. Feel good about this. And let's reach out even further. Inhaling. And exhaling, cartwheeling all the way to the floor. Hands and knees. Very nice. Inhale into cat. Exhale into cow. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees maybe. Inhale to cat. And exhale to cow. Maybe stepping those feet back even more. Inhaling to cat and plank. Exhaling cow as we press back. Inhaling cat. And exhaling cow. One more wherever you are. Nice. And in plank, come forward into that cat plank. Keep the legs so strong. And then open up the front body. Keep the legs active. Press the floor away with your arms. Breathe into this upward dog position. Beautiful. And as you're ready, knees to the floor, lower all the way to the ground. Very nice. This time, right arm overhead, bend that right foot. Hold on to the right foot with the left hand. Nice. So we're finding this opposite hand to foot. Take an inhale, ground the pubic bone, find that 12 o'clock tilt, lift the lower abdominals. And on the exhale, everything rises. Exhale. Beautiful. Feel the cross-lateral connection. Opposite arm to opposite leg. Feel the chest lifting up towards your chin. Back of your neck soft. Back of the throat soft. Breathe 4. Breathe 3. Breathe 2. And breathe 1. Release. Very nice. Last one. Bend both knees. Hold on to either the outside edges or the inside edges of your feet, whichever is more accessible to you. Take a nice deep inhale, plant the pubic bone, lift the lower belly. And on the exhale, we rise. Nice. Coming into Dhanurasana, bow pose. Feel the lower belly continue to lift. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Oh. And just let those heels rock from side to side. Let it feel good. Beautiful. We're going to come into one of my favorite stretches now. I call it the everything stretch. It gets all sorts of areas of your body and feels so good. I'm going to show you it from multiple angles because it's kind of a weird one. So to come into the everything stretch, I'm going to bend my right knee and I'm going to look to the right. Have my cheek on the ground. Now with my right knee bent, I'm going to actually lift the leg and then reach my foot all the way behind me to the floor. From here, I'm going to take my left hand, straighten it out to the side. So I get stretched through the front of that shoulder girdle and into the chest. Now maybe I find that this foot and hand are really close to each other, and I hold on to them and press them back into each other, just like I did in bow pose. Let me show this from another angle. So stay in this pose. I'm just going to show it from facing front, and I'll show it from a few different ways. Start here. Bend that right knee. Lift the right thigh off the ground. Bring it over, cheek on the floor. Bring it on over, across into the floor, so it's actually grounded, touching the mat. And then this arm straightens out. So I get a stretch through the front of the chest and shoulder. Maybe I hold foot and hand and press them into each other just like I did in bow. All right, let me show it to you one more direction. From this side. Resting my left cheek on the floor, bend the right foot, lift the thigh, bring it all the way up and over, straighten out that left hand, maybe hold on to the foot. Notice this thigh is up, so I'm not falling down and into myself, but I'm lifting up and away. So I get a stretch through the front of the thigh, through the front of the hip, through this diagonal of the body and into this chest here. Feels so good. When you are ready, slowly release. Come on out. Windshield wipe those legs a few times to neutralize your spine. And then we'll be coming into the second side. So for this side, I look over to the left, bend that left foot, lift it up into the air, straighten out that right arm as I lean back over onto it. Maybe if it feels good, I can touch my hand and foot together and begin to press them into one another, keeping this thigh lifted. And again, I'll show this from different angles, but you get to just hang out and enjoy the stretch. I'll look over to the left, bend that left knee, lift it up, bring it up and over as I straighten out that right arm. Get the stretch in the chest, maybe hold on foot to hand, pressing them into one another. All right, and for the last angle, line down, bend the knee, lift it up, bring it over as I straighten that arm out. Maybe hold on to the foot, pressing with this front arm. Feel the stretch through the front of this thigh as the knee lifts up, through the front of this hip, crossing through my torso, opposite hip to opposite shoulder. The stretch is so good. And then into the front of the shoulder blade and the chest. Let's hang out here for a little bit. Breathe into any part of your body that feels like this is just the best. Let it go deep. As you are ready, slowly come on out of this. Let your knees windshield wipe right to left. Releasing your spine. And at this moment, if there's any final movement that you need in your practice to feel balanced and complete, then press pause on this film and take a moment to come into that movement. And then when you do feel balanced and complete, we will be coming into Savasana. Front lying or back lying, let yourself release back into the floor. Let each exhale bring you deeper and deeper into relaxation. The exhale is an amazing thing. The exhale elicits our relaxation response. See if you can really dig into that relaxation response with the exhale by consciously releasing, by consciously letting go, by consciously unwinding with each exhale. Again, knowing that there is nowhere else that you need to be right now, nothing else that you need to do. Right here and right now is the only thing, the only moment. Let yourself exhale deeper and deeper into this moment. slowly bring your attention back into the space. Take a nice deep inhale in through your nose. And a full exhale out. Again, inhaling fully and deeply. And exhaling. With each inhale, feel yourself coming back to life a little bit more. And a little bit more. If the exhale brings on our relaxation response, then our inhale brings on our vibrancy and awakeness. Maybe come into movement, stretch, a reach, a yawn. And as you are ready, let yourself roll onto your right side. Let your eyes stay closed for a few moments. Just breathing here. Preparing to wake up into the world again. Take this moment of stillness as an opportunity to set an intention for yourself. Let this intention be something that you'd like to bring with you into the rest of the day, maybe into the rest of your week, maybe even beyond that. Let your intention feel good and purposeful and true. See your intention clearly. Place it into the back space of your heart to carry with you. When you are ready, mindfully use your hands to transition up to sitting. Coming to any seated position that feels comfortable for you. On the inhale, our arms reach up together. Hands press to our hearts. Exhaling. Again, inhale, gathering the breath. And exhale. Hands press together to your heart. Once more, inhaling tall as we can. And exhaling. Bringing the sound of our practice into our voices. The sound of our own inner and core strength. The sound of Om. Hands to our forehead as a reminder of kind thought. To our lips as a reminder of kind speech. To our hearts as a reminder of kind intention. Namaste. And to the ground we practice on. Thank you so much for your practice today. I hope you feel good and strong and alive and supported, in tune with your core. And I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. Bye.